My name is Tesla Cox. My Plinkett name is Kailteen. I am the Senior Director of Shareholder Development at Sealaska. Our goal for our shareholder development programs is to reach our shareholders at any age and all across the United States. It's important that we have opportunities for our shareholders here in Southeast Alaska, but also for our shareholders that want to connect with their culture, education, and workforce development, no matter where they're at. One of our big investments is with ANSET, the Alaska Native Science and Engineering Program. We've been sponsoring cohorts of students to go up to Anchorage and learn about STEM education. We've had a great return on investment with kids going back each summer, and we're now expanding those opportunities into Southeast Alaska with UAS, where there will be a Marine Science Career Exploration Academy this summer, and this fall they will start their high school academy for students in Juneau. The Alaska Youth Stewards program is another great opportunity in the region for high school students. This provides summer employment, develops leadership skills, and the students are working on trail maintenance, research on cultural wood products, tree coring, and community garden development. A new program that we've started this year is sponsoring our shareholders and descendants to attend conferences or trainings to gain exposure to career pathways and networks that inspire them. This spring, we began a new partnership with the University of Alaska Fairbanks. This new agreement provides in-state tuition for all of our shareholders and 10% off to all of their e-courses. The Sealaska Scholarship Program serves shareholders and descendants enrolled full or part-time in vocational technical programs and accredited colleges and universities. To date, Sealaska has committed $26.5 million to its scholarship fund and awards 400 plus scholarships per year. Over the past couple internship seasons, we've expanded into externships with our community partners. This year we have a variety of positions available through Plinkett and Haida that fill in the gaps of the career fields that we don't have available at Sealaska, so we can offer opportunities for interns in all the different career pathways. Just as important as college is access to vocational trainings. We have a goal of providing one training per quarter, either virtually for our shareholders across the United States or in one of our communities. Our first training we did this year was the Marine Mammal Observer Training. We trained 23 participants to work on marine construction sites. This training opportunity used Indigenous knowledge in place of a degree in environmental sciences. This spring, we met with leadership in each of our communities to talk about the workforce development needs. We found that there was a lot of open positions, but they weren't getting a lot of applications. And in response to that, we created the Next Steps program, which provides a signing bonus and then quarterly incentives paid directly to the new employee. The Board Youth Advisor position was created in 2009. This provides an opportunity for our younger shareholders to gain leadership experience, be mentored by a board member of their choosing, and build their networks across the region. This winter, we will be launching a new mentorship program. This will provide a matching opportunity between early career shareholders and experts in their field. We hope these mentorships will help shareholders identify next steps on their career pathways and build their networks to success. Sealaska is excited to continue growing and providing our shareholder benefits.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us for this special Zoom event. I am Tesla Cox. I'm the Senior Director of Shareholder Development. I'm Plinkett, I'm Raven, I'm Deshiton, and my family comes from Yelhit, the Raven House of Angoon. We wanted to start with a land acknowledgement and say Gunal Chish to our Plinkett, Haida, and Tsimshian people. We respectfully acknowledge them as original owners and inhabitants of Southeast Alaska, where Sealaska shareholders call home. Over the next hour, we will go over how to enroll with Sealaska, answer some frequently asked questions about enrolling, outline what shareholder responsibilities are for our new shareholders, and highlight the Shareholder Relations team. Sealaska shareholders approve removing the 1/4 blood quantum requirement for Descendants at the 2022 annual meeting. Since then, Sealaska has received 1,171 applications as of this morning, and we have approved 853 of those so far. Joining us today are two members of the Shareholder Relations team, Shyla Germain and Vanessa Allen. Joining me now is Shyla. She is our Senior Stock Transfer Specialist. Shyla will go over mysealaska.com, the Sealaska Shareholder Portal, and how to enroll.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shyla Germain. I work in Shareholder Relations and do a multitude of different things. But today I'm going to walk you through how to register on mysealaska.com. The main thing that you'll want to start with to register is you'll need to have a valid email address. Personal email address is something that we suggest. That way, if you choose to use a work email, you don't have to switch that in the future. But let's see. So the first thing that you'll do, step one, is go to mysealaska.com. You'll input your, here on this sign-in page here, it says don't have an account yet. Click here to register underneath that big red bar, which will bring you to step two. And this is just your account information. So it's going to ask you for your email address. It's going to ask you to input it twice. So you're going to confirm it. And then you're going to create a password. And the password is going to be 8 characters long, one number, at least one uppercase character, and a lowercase character. You will need to validate the email address at the next step. So once you do that, you'll click next. You'll need to input your personal information. So you'll want to put your first name, your last name, a suffix if you have one, and you will want to click the box, I am 13 years age of older. You do need to be 18 years of age to create your own MySeaLaska account. Once you've done that, you can click next. And then step 4. So this is your current mailing address. Address line would be your street or PO box. Street address number 2 would be your apartment, condo, unit, suite number. Your city and state, zip, and country. And then you'll click create account. And the last step of registration is step 5, and that's something that we like to encourage all of our shareholders to go green to save our trees. And if you don't want to go green, in the middle of the screen there's a blue button that says click here, and that's if you wanted to still get paper proxies, paper newsletters. If you don't, then you'll click yes, I want to go green, that big red button down at the bottom. And you'll receive your proxies via online, and your e-news will come via email. And once you've completed that, it'll bring you back to the home page of MySeaLaska, where you will then see all of your own personal information. And that completes the registration process. 5 easy steps.
Thank you, Shyla. That sounds easy. Once a MySeaLaska account is set up, what do people need to do to reset their password?
Yeah, so we don't actually store any passwords. There is a reset password link on that home page where you input your email address and password. It says if you don't, or if you're having trouble accessing your account, click here. And we will send you, it'll bring you to another page where you'll input your email address, and then what we'll do is we'll send you the link to reset your password at that point.
What if someone registers and they don't remember what email they used, or they have a new email address now? What can they do to get access?
Yeah, so if you can't remember, you can contact Shareholder Relations, and our team can always tell you what email address you have on file. And you can contact us through the My Sealaska messages page, or you can give us a phone call. Or if you need to reset your email address, we're able to do that for you also.
Great. And once people are logged into My Sealaska, what is all available for them on that portal?
Yeah, so once you get logged in, registered and logged in, you'll see your name in the top right corner. You'll know that you actually are seeing your personal information. Once you get logged in, you can click on About Me. You can see your address, your email, your banking information. And you can also update any of that information under About Me. You'll be able to change your banking information if you need to do so. You'll be able to change your address if you need to, phone number, password. Right above there, you'll see the link to the My Sealaska messages. You can shoot us a message and we'll get back to you if you're not able to get through on the phone. And we also have the overview or any of the information you need about me, your 1099s. You can click on certificates, and that's going to show you what type of shares that you own. Your payment history, your family history. You can edit your family history at any time. So if you're in the process of enrolling and for some reason you get logged out or it times out on you, in the application process, it'll bring you to the next step. But at this point, it's always accessible under About Me. You just click on family history and you can make changes at any point in time.
I really like that new family history section. I went in there and added my information. It's cool that we can be able to track that, or if people want to look up in the future, they can have access to that. It also has your clan info, which is another great tool to just have that information recorded for the future. Also on that page, we have our news is frequently updated on there. And there's also the mysealaska.com/opportunities page, where we have a lot of the information that you saw in that opening video. In here, we have our student sponsorship program, any upcoming training opportunities, board youth advisor information, that can all be found there. And that's regularly updated as new programs are made for shareholders. All right, so once someone is registered with mysealaska.com, they can begin to enroll. Joining us is Vanessa Allen with our Shareholder Relations team. Vanessa's job is to oversee the process. Vanessa, can you give us the highlights on how to enroll with Sealaska?
Good afternoon. My name is Vanessa Allen, and as Tesla said, I work in the Shareholder Relations Department as the enrollment team lead. Today, I'm going to bring you over the enrollment process, the enrollment application, just to show you how easy it is. So now that you've created your account and registered with Shyla, you'll sign in. And then right on the home page, there's a box labeled Online Enrollment. You'll follow that to the enrollment page. Sorry, guys. Just give us a second here.
Let's make sure we go over the My Sealaska stuff, and we'll come back to this enrollment section really quickly.
While we're getting that set up, we can go through some of the questions and then we can do the demonstration. So once an application is submitted, how will people be notified if it's approved or if additional information is needed? You're on mute, Shyla.
Thank you. Just so it's all done 100% online. So just as you applied online, you will get an automated response. So if the team reviews it and we do need additional documentation, or if there's something missing, we will shoot you an email and request that additional documentation. And then it will go through a review after that additional piece has been received. Once it's approved, it'll be the same way. It'll be an automated email that will let you know that your application has been accepted.
And once an application is approved, will Sealaska provide additional documents once it's complete?
Yeah, so that's the fun part. Once your application is approved, we get notification, and we have a standing list of everybody to send a new welcome packet to. We just went through a new rebranding, as everybody knows, so you'll get a stock certificate in the mail, an ID, maybe some cool stickers or magnets, and yeah, you'll see that come in the mail to you after your application has been approved.
I've been seeing new shareholders post their welcome packet when they get it in the mail, and it's always exciting to see that on Facebook or Instagram. So we appreciate you all for sharing your photos and your excitement. It's great to see everyone joining us.
We are ready to go through the online application now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. So as I was saying, you'll get signed into your My Sealaska account. Right on the homepage, there's an online enrollment box, and you'll click on that and follow it. You'll briefly read over the eligibility requirements and what documents you may need. At the bottom of that page, there's a red apply button. You'll push that to prompt the enrollment application. At the top, you'll verify your personal information, which is your name, your date of birth, your address. And below that are 5 questions which determine your eligibility in enrolling as a descendant. So you must be a United States citizen. You must be a lineal descendant of an original Sealaska shareholder. At this point, this is where you'll put your mother, your father, your grandmother or grandfather. And you just need to provide their date of birth or the last 4 of their SSN. It doesn't need to be both. After you've entered your ancestor, you'll finish answering the questions below. Are you adopted? In this case, we'll say no. You cannot own shares in an ANSCA corporation, regional corporation, except through gifting or inheritance. And you cannot be an enrolled member of the Metlakatla Indian community. After the questions have been answered, the button down below will highlight and you can push apply. This brings you to your family history. This is an optional portion. As stated before, you can go back to the About Me section and fill in your family history at any time. At this point, this is where you upload your required documents. Right now it says application submitted because there's files already submitted, but it would be a red box informing you still need to upload your documents. So you want to upload your state issued ID or driver's license. And you'll want to upload your birth certificate. If your name is different on your ID than what is listed on your birth certificate, we'll need proof of name change. So the legal document that shows your proof of name change. Once the required documents have been uploaded, this box up above turns blue and it says application submitted. We'll be reaching out to you by email. if we need any more information to complete your application, or when your application's been accepted and approved, you'll receive an automated email as well.
We have a question in the chat on Facebook. How do you find out if you are a descendant of a shareholder?
You find out by asking your mom or grandparents if they are original shareholders of Sealaska. They enrolled with Sealaska, so your ancestor will know who.
And if that ancestor is no longer living or if they've passed away, you can always give Sealaska, reach out to us and see if we can't figure out who the lineage, might be. So if you don't have contact with them, you can always give us a call.
Yeah, all right. The information we just went through is also available in a how to enroll document that you can review. We will post a link to that in the chat now. Let's see, we went through some of these. The application Sealaska used to enroll for Class D or Class L stock is called Life Estate. Shyla, why do we call it that?
So it's referred to as life estate because once a shareholder passes away, that life estate stock ceases to exist. So Class D, Class L, and Class E are all life estate stocks that are non-transferable to another shareholder.
And what is the difference between left out and descendant?
So a left out would be somebody who was born before Sealaska opened their doors on December 18th, 1971. And they would have been eligible to apply for shares and did not. A descendant is somebody who was born after December 18th, 1971 and is a lineal descendant of a Sealaska shareholder.
Thank you. Now might be a good time to go over the different types of stock with Sealaska. Shyla, can you help us go over Class A, B, C, D, E, and L? And I think we have a slide too.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so Class A is a village stock. We have original shares, and any of those original shares would be Class A, Class B, or Class C. And those are the people who applied and enrolled in Sealaska when we were established. Class A is village shares. They get funds from the 7I and the 7J, and those actually go to the village corporations. And it's up to the village corporations to decide how they're going to allocate those funds. Class B is urban shareholders. It was those who were enrolled with Sealaska in an urban corporation such as Gold Belts. And Class A and Class B and Class C are all shares that can be transferred. Class C would be at-large shareholders. And it is for those who are living outside the state of Alaska when Sealaska began. And so it's those three, A, B, and C, that are considered original shareholder stock. And those are the only three that are transferable from an original shareholder. And so anybody who has any Class A, Class B, or Class C shares does need to be sure that they have a stock will on file allocating where those shares will go when they pass away, because they are transferable. Class D, Class E, and Class L were all established later on after shareholder votes. Class D is descendants. And that is for all those who were born after and who are a descendant of an original shareholder. Class E was something that we created. It's an elder benefit, and it's an elder stock. When a shareholder, an original shareholder, turns 65, they are automatically given 100 elder shares, and those are Class E. And they cannot be willed and are considered life estate stock. And Class L is for those who were born before the cutoff of, or the opening of Sealaska, and who did not apply. And so they can apply now. For those Class L shares, it is 100 shares, but they are non-transferable and they are a life estate stock. And there's a table down below that kind of just breaks that out and gives you the outline of each class in yeses or nos.
Thank you. I heard you mention that stock classes A, B, and C need a shareholder stock will. What is a shareholder stock will?
So our stock will is our shareholder, it was previously called a testamentary disposition. And we have in the last few years changed it to a much easier name to pronounce. It's called a shareholder stock will. And that is, you'll want to list out on there the total number of A, B, or C shares that you have, and then who you want those shares to go to. There is no stipulation on who you will your shares to, so anybody can be listed. And it can be updated at any time also. So whenever you do a new one, it is a notarized document. So the notarization will override the previous date.
I also recently added a feature on my Sealaska under your About Me, where you can view the stock wills you have on file and see what you have there if you need to make any changes. You can view what you currently have. We see a lot of shareholders who haven't updated their stock will in 20 plus years. So it's always good to keep an eye on that and make changes as you have different life events or more grandchildren. You can go and update that. Shiloh, what happens if a Sealaska shareholder does not have a shareholder stock will on file?
So at that point, we are required to follow the Alaska state statutes, and it will basically go to the surviving heirs. So if they were married, it will go to the half of the shares will go to the wife. If they had children, surviving children, the other half will be split up amongst the surviving children. And so you'll want to make sure that you designate where your shares go to before your time expires.
And on request, Sealaska will assist shareholders to properly complete, sign, and have notarized the shareholder stock will form. We can help at the office or also as we visit for community meetings, we'll have those available so we can help shareholders with that. You can visit mysealaska.com. On the homepage, there's a quick link to additional information and frequently asked questions. All right, thank you. Do we want to add anything before we moved on to the next subject? All right. Now we will go over shareholder responsibilities. We want to welcome our new shareholders who may have enrolled as descendants or may have been gifted or inherited shares. At this time, we want to go over a few responsibilities shareholders have.
All right, so shareholder responsibilities. Number one, read the annual report and proxy materials and vote. It's very important that you vote. If you want to have a voice, you know, the only way that you can have a voice is if we hear you through your vote. So most important, vote. Number two, keep contact info up to date. We've made that super easy in the last few years. We used to require a signature and it be handwritten, but now we've made that process where you can do it your own on mysealaska.com, as well if you banking information. And number three, most importantly, maintain your stock will.
Some key dates to remember for our new shareholders is each May, the audited financials are typically released. That includes the annual report and voting materials. In June, we have the annual meeting of Sealaska Shareholders. And there are 3 record dates throughout the year, 2 of these for dividends in the spring and fall. This is the last day to make changes to your banking information or your address to make sure that you receive your dividend. It's also the last day to make share transfers if you want to gift shares or complete an estate transfer so that those shares are counted for your voting total or dividend total, and also for the election. Okay, let's see. Now we will go through who's who at Shareholder Relations. That's me. I'm the Director of Shareholder Development. We have June, who is our lovely receptionist. If you call, she's probably the first person you're talking to. We have Dawn is new with us to help with our enrollment. We've hired a couple new enrollment specialists. We have Shyla, who's right here with us, our senior stock transfer specialist. We have Vanessa, who's also here with us today. She's our enrollment team lead and keeping us on track on getting our new shareholders enrolled. We have Kirsten, who's also new and is also a rock star in helping get through all of these new descendant applications. We have Thea Brown. She's our shareholder relations manager. Shannon, she is our shareholder relations associate. She works a lot on the estate process. We have Jason, who is the magician behind the scenes and makes our My Sealaska work, and all of our, anything you see online is Jason's magic fingers. And Travis is our Senior Director of Shareholder Relations and Systems. Sealaska has invested in the shareholder relations team. This is due to the growth of shareholder benefits, including the removal of the blood quantum requirements for Class D shares. And how to contact shareholder relations. There are a variety of ways to reach out to Sealaska Shareholder Relations team. Vanessa and Shyla, what is the best way to reach you?
We have a couple different ways. The My Sealaska messages is an awesome feature. You have to be logged into your My Sealaska to get to the feature. So once you're logged in, click on About Me, scroll down like we saw, click on Messages, shoot us a message, and we'll get back to you. Email records at sealaska.com. So if you have any important documents that you need to send us, birth certificates, death certificates, if you still like to submit change of addresses via paper, you can email all that good stuff to records@sealaska.com. Or you can call us toll free at the 1-800 number, call us direct at the 586-1512, and you'll get June. And we do, at the toll-free number, if you select shareholder relations, we do operate on a phone tree, so it rings around hopefully until you get somebody, but we are on the phone almost for 8 hours a day, every day. So just, that's why we suggest the messages if you don't get a person on the line.
All right, we have some time for Q&A. I've seen the team answering questions live in the Facebook chat, so I don't know if we have more in here, but if you have them. We had a question about the family tree. Do you need to fill in both mother and father if only one side will qualify for you?
So you're going to go through your ancestors or your matrial lineage.
Okay, my brother is enrolled in a non-Alaskan tribe. Does he have to disenroll from his tribe to get Class D stock?
Because we removed the blood quantum requirement and having to enroll at the BIA, you do not have to disenroll from your non-Alaskan tribe.
You just have to show proof that you are a descendant of an original shareholder.
Correct.
And let's say that someone is a descendant from their great great grandfather. What would they need to bring to show that they're a descendant?
We'll need birth certificates. In some cases, we've accepted death certificates showing the lineage connection. So we'll need parent birth certificate, grandparent birth certificate, great grandparent birth certificate. We encourage you to enroll if you can under your mother or grandparent, because then it's less that you have to provide to us for that proof.
If you're not sure if you're how far back you need to go, you can always contact us and we can help to find if your parent's an original shareholder and we only need your birth certificate, or if we need to go further steps back. How does adoption work in being eligible to enroll, and at what age are kids able to enroll?
So yes, we do accept children who were adopted, and what they'll need to do, they just require a little bit extra documentation. We do require a pre-adoption birth certificate, so in a birth certificate that shows their biological parents. And then we require a post-adoption birth certificate where if they have changed their name from the adoption, it'll list their that name. And then we also require to back up the adoption, the court documents. So those three additional or two additional documents will be needed for children who have been adopted. And what was this?
What
was the age question?
What age do they need to be to enroll?
Yes, so they need to be 18 years of age to enroll for the 100 descendant shares.
Another question, how does my husband check how many shares he has?
So he will log into his My Sealaska account or create one if he hasn't already. And once he's logged in and he sees his name in the top right corner, he can click on About Me, and then he'll click on Certificates. And the certificates will then list out the stock classification that you own. So right now we're looking at Irma, and she owns 100 Class B shares. And if you click on the View Certificate, it will actually give you the PDF certificate that you can print out if you want to frame it and hang it on your wall.
Do your shareholders go about getting a shareholder ID?
So they can shoot us a message, they can send us an email, they can give us a call. It's just basically reaching out to us and saying, hey, can I get an ID? And we'll send you one. If you do want a photo on your ID and you do not have a photo, you can email us a headshot, like one that you would use on a passport, to records@sealaska.com, and just request to have the photo uploaded to your ID and a new ID mailed to you.
Another question I've heard is asking if the shareholder IDs can be used, sorry, I'm joking, used at the airport, and only the Tlingit and Haida ID is verified as a real ID. Your Sealaska ID can't be used as an official ID.
Correct.
Yes, our Sealaska are just shareholder IDs. They're not TSA or federally recognized ID cards.
And back to the question about adoption, that question was about if somebody was adopted out and their birth parents were original shareholders. What if somebody is adopted by an original shareholder? Are they eligible through their parents?
They would only be eligible through gifting at that point, because you have to be a direct lineal descendant of that shareholder. So it would have to go through their biological parents, unless they gifted. You can gift shares to adopted children.
Is there a limited opening for descendants, or will my 16-year-old be able to apply in 2 years?
No, there is no limit. Sometimes you'll kind of create or hear of like a slight panic and as Tesla mentioned, what we call a record date, and that's just approaching each distribution. We have a record date each time, and if you wish to apply and be accepted and included in that distribution, you'll need to have your application be accepted prior to record date, the end of the day on record date. But other than that, it's continuously will remain open.
What is the phone number to call if you need help applying?
So the 1-800 number, 1-800-591, you know it? You don't remember.
There we go.
848-5921.
What if people are having troubles getting their parents' birth certificates or some of the documents they need?
So at that point, they can contact us. The only thing about original shareholders is that the enrollment was done through the Bureau of Indian Affairs. So if you're an original shareholder, we don't actually have your birth certificate on file, and we don't have access to the BIA files, and we don't have access to Click It and HIDA files. So you can always contact us and see if we do have your parent birth certificate on file. But if they're an original shareholder, the chances are that we probably won't have theirs. And so if you're applying and you are applying under original, you only need to supply your birth certificate that shows the original as your parent, and you don't need to go through the motions to get their birth certificate also.
You can also contact Vital Statistics. I had to go here in Juneau, and I thought it was going to take me forever, and I was dreading it. And I went in there and had my printed out paperwork, and I think it was 7 minutes from the time I got out of my car and back in. So it's a lot easier than I thought it would be. And that's a great way to go and get that information also. If my son wasn't enrolled and has passed away, are his kids eligible to enroll?
Yes, so if that person asking is an original shareholder, they would apply under whom the original shareholder was.
I saw another one. Okay, if shares are gifted to adopted children, will they be eligible for Sealaska shareholder benefits, examples, youth internships, or Sealaska scholarships? I can answer that one. All shareholders are eligible for those benefit programs, and descendants also, and including those that are adopted. So they're eligible for scholarships, for internships, for student sponsorship programs. Any of those opportunities you see on our mysealaska.com/opportunities page, they would be eligible for. All right, well, I think we can go ahead and wrap up. I wanted to encourage everyone in Alaska to go and vote today. Today is the primary and the special election. There's changes to some of the district locations, and your voting location might have changed. We'll put a link in the chat of where you can find that. Sealaska is giving our staff an hour of time today to make sure everybody goes and votes. It's really important that we get out the Native vote and we share our Native voices. If all of us as Alaska Natives vote, we could have a huge impact on the election. So please take some time today to go and vote. Polls are open till 8 p.m. Shyla's showing off her I voted sticker. I couldn't find mine, but I voted early, which I also encourage you to do when you can, is to vote early so you're not worried about it on election day. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Shyla and Vanessa, for sharing this information. That How to Enroll packet is available on My Sealaska. And please encourage, if you have family members that are eligible now, to watch this video, to look on My Sealaska, or just to go and enroll. I did it just for practice to see how long it takes, and it really takes 15 minutes maybe if you have your documents all together. So enroll, encourage your family to, and if you have questions, reach out to the team. We're happy to help. Thank you.